Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare quarter-dollar coins, cause some of these coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we're diving into one of the most iconic and yet surprisingly valuable coins in American numismatics, the 1987 Washington quarter. It might seem like just an ordinary piece of change you've seen 1,000 times, but this quarter hides a secret that could make it worth a staggering $79,000. So, listen carefully, because if you have one of these coins, or find one lurking in your change, you might be holding on to a small fortune. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1932, featuring the portrait of George Washington on the obverse side. By 1987, these quarters were minted in the hundreds of millions, making them seem pretty common. But not all coins are created equal, and within those millions of quarters are some extraordinary anomalies and rare variants that have caught the eye of collectors worldwide. Let's start with what makes the 1987 Washington quarter special. While the design was consistent with the classic look, the minting process wasn't flawless. Several rare errors from this year's production can transform a common quarter into a collector's dream point. One of the most famous and valuable errors associated with the 1987 quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is stamped twice with a slight misalignment, resulting in the appearance of doubled lettering or images. On the 1987 Washington quarter, collectors look for doubling on the date or the word Liberty. The doubling effect can be subtle or pronounced, but either way, it's an error that significantly boosts the coin's rarity and value. Since double die errors are accidental and rare, they have a huge following among numismatists. Another fascinating error to watch for is the off-center strike. Sometimes, during the minting process, the metal planchet, the blank coin, isn't properly aligned, causing the design to be shifted. This results in part of the coin's design being cut off and an uneven border. An off-center strike on a 1987 Washington quarter is a unique piece of minting history, and coins with this error can command a premium price due to their scarcity and eye-catching appearance. There are also die crack errors that collectors adore. Die cracks happen when the minting die, used to stamp the coin's design, develops small fractures. These cracks appear as raised lines on the coin's surface and give each coin a one-of-a-kind look. On the 1987 quarter, die cracks can run through the date, the lettering, or even the image of Washington's profile, making each coin a fascinating specimen. Now, condition plays a massive role in how valuable a coin can be. Many 1987 quarters have been circulated and show signs of wear, which dramatically lowers their worth. But if you have one in uncirculated or mint condition, meaning it looks as fresh as the day it came out of the mint, combined with any of these errors, you're looking at a coin that can be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. Collectors are incredibly picky about grading, and a coin that's been preserved without scratches, dents, or discoloration will always fetch a higher price. In fact, some of the best preserved error coins from 1987 have been sold for eye-popping sums. So, what's the real value of a rare 1987 Washington quarter error coin? Here's the incredible news. Some of these unique quarters have sold for as much as $79,000. That's right, $79,000 for a coin that most people would overlook as just spare change. This mind-blowing price is the result of the perfect combination of rarity, minting errors, and excellent condition. For collectors, owning one of these coins is like owning a piece of minting history, a story frozen in metal, and a potential investment that could pay off big time. If you want to try your luck in finding one of these rare coins, be sure to inspect any 1987 Washington quarters you come across very closely. Look for doubled letters, signs of off-center strikes, or unusual raised lines from die cracks. Even subtle differences can be the key to unlocking a valuable discovery. Here's a quick tip for anyone who finds or owns valuable coins. Always handle your coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints or oils that can damage the surface. Storing coins in protective holders or coin flips is essential for maintaining their condition and value over time. To sum it up, the 1987 Washington quarter might look like an everyday coin, But hidden among its millions of counterparts are rare errors that make certain specimens worth a small fortune. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just curious, these quarters are well worth a second look. Top 2, we're shining the spotlight on a seemingly ordinary coin that could actually be a hidden treasure, the 1989 Washington quarter. Most people see quarters as everyday pocket change, but if you have a 1989 Washington quarter, listen carefully because this coin might just be worth a whopping $77,000. Stay with me, because this story is going to change the way you look at your loose change forever. The Washington quarter has been a symbol of American currency since 1932, featuring the classic profile of George Washington on the front. By 1989, these coins were being minted in the hundreds of millions, making them widely circulated and seemingly common. But within this massive production run lies some rare and fascinating errors that have turned a few of these coins into highly coveted collector's items. So, what exactly makes the 1989 Washington quarter so special? The answer lies in the minting errors and variations that appeared during production, some of which are extremely rare and have made the coin a prized find among numismatists. One of the most sought-after mistakes from 1989 is the famous double die error. This error occurs when the coin's design is struck twice, but with slight misalignment, causing letters or numbers to appear doubled. For the 1989 Washington quarter, the doubling is often visible on the year 1989 or the word Liberty. These doubled images create a striking and unusual effect, and since double die errors are the result of a minting accident, each is unique. Collectors go wild for these, making such coins extremely valuable. Another eye-catching error to look for is the off-center strike. During the minting process, if the metal blank, known as a planchet, is not properly aligned, the coin's design will be shifted off-center. This can cause part of the image to be cut off, creating a dramatic and intriguing look. An off-center 1989 Washington quarter is rare and highly prized because it's a tangible record of the minting process gone a little off-script. Then we have the die crack error, a fascinating imperfection caused by tiny fractures in the minting die. These cracks leave raised lines or marks on the coin's surface, which can run through letters, dates, or even the profile of Washington himself. Every die crack is unique, making each coin with this error a one-of-a-kind collectible. What really drives up the value of these error coins is their scarcity and condition. The U.S. Mint produced millions of quarters in 1989, but only a tiny number feature these specific errors, and even fewer are preserved in mint condition. Coins that have been carefully protected and remain uncirculated, without the usual wear and tear, can command prices far beyond face value. Condition is crucial in the world of coin collecting. An uncirculated coin shows no signs of wear, retains its original luster, and has sharp details. This makes it far more desirable to collectors who are always hunting for perfect specimens to add to their collections. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. How much could a rare, error-filled, pristine 1989 Washington quarter be worth? Believe it or not, some of these coins have been known to sell for as much as $77,000. That's right, $77,000 for a coin that many people toss into their change jar without a second thought. This incredible value is the result of a perfect storm of rarity, error type, and exceptional preservation. It's a reminder that even everyday coins can be transformed into valuable treasures with the right twist of minting fate. If you want to hunt for one of these rare quarters, here's a tip. Examine your 1989 Washington quarters closely. Look for signs of doubling on the letters or numbers, off-center images, or unusual raised lines that could be die cracks. Even subtle anomalies could signal that you're holding something extraordinary. Handling valuable coins properly is also essential. Always hold coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints or oils that can damage their surfaces. Storing them in protective holders or coin cases will help preserve their condition and keep their value intact. In summary, the 1989 Washington quarter is far more than just pocket change. It's a symbol of American history, a canvas for rare minting errors, and potentially a gateway to a life-changing amount of money. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this quarter is definitely worth a closer look. Top 3, we're going to explore a coin that might seem ordinary but hides an incredible secret beneath its surface, the 1994 Washington quarter. It's easy to overlook quarters from this era since they're so common, but believe it or not, certain versions of this 1994 quarter could be worth an astonishing $75,000. Yes, $75,000 for a single quarter. So stick around and listen carefully, because this coin story is going to change the way you look at your spare change forever. The Washington quarter has been an American staple since its introduction in 1932, with George Washington's profile gracing the obverse side. By 1994, the coin was still being produced in massive quantities at multiple mints, including Philadelphia and Denver. While the vast majority of these coins entered circulation and passed through countless hands, a small number of them are extraordinarily rare and for very specific reasons. What exactly sets this 1994 Washington quarter apart? It's all about the minting errors and unique varieties that occurred during production, turning an everyday coin into a rare collectible that enthusiasts drool over. First up is the ever-popular double die error. This error happens when the coin's design is struck more than once with a slight misalignment, causing doubled images or text on the coin. For the 1994 quarter, collectors look for doubling in the date, the word liberty, or the motto, "In God We Trust." The doubling effect ranges from subtle to very pronounced, and because it's a minting accident, every double die coin is essentially one of a kind. These double die errors are highly sought after and can add tremendous value to your coin. Next, we have the off-center strike. Sometimes during the minting process, the blank coin isn't perfectly aligned when the design is stamped. This causes part of the design to be missing, creating a coin with an uneven border and a partial image. An off-center 1994 Washington quarter is rare and immediately recognizable, making it a favorite among collectors who appreciate these kinds of unique minting anomalies. Another fascinating error to watch out for is the die crack. Tiny fractures in the die create raised lines or patterns on the coin's surface that are not part of the original design. On the 1994 quarter, these die cracks can run through the date, the lettering, or even George Washington's profile, giving each coin a distinctive look. Since each die crack forms differently, these coins become one-of-a-kind items treasured by collectors. The real kicker? The condition of your coin dramatically affects its value. Most quarters you find have been circulated, showing wear and tear from years of use, which lowers their worth significantly. But if you have a 1994 Washington quarter in uncirculated or mint condition, meaning it looks as sharp and fresh as the day it left the mint, and it also features one of these rare errors, you could be sitting on a highly valuable collectible. Uncirculated coins retain their original luster and sharp details, which collectors prize above all. When combined with an error like a double die or off-center strike, the value skyrockets because pristine examples of these rare coins are incredibly scarce. So, what's the true market value of such a gem? Here's the incredible part. Certain 1994 Washington quarters with these rare error features and in flawless condition have been known to fetch prices as high as $75,000. That's right, $75,000 for a single quarter. This mind-blowing value underscores just how much rarity, error type, and condition can influence a coin's worth. If you're eager to see if you own one of these treasures, here's what to do. Carefully inspect any 1994 Washington quarters you have. Look closely for doubled letters or numbers, parts of the design that seem off-center, or unusual raised lines that could be die cracks. Even minor irregularities might mean you've stumbled onto something extraordinary. Remember, handling coins correctly is essential to preserving their value. Always hold coins by the edges to avoid fingerprints and oils, and store valuable coins in protective cases or holders to maintain their pristine condition. To wrap up, the 1994 Washington quarter is much more than just pocket change. It's a coin that tells a story of American heritage, minting quirks, and rare treasures that can be worth a fortune. Whether you're an experienced collector or just getting started, these quarters deserve a second glance. Top 4, we're diving into a coin that might just change the way you look at your loose change forever, the 1995 Washington quarter. At first glance, it seems like just another quarter, but hidden within the millions minted that year are rare error coins that could be worth an astonishing $73,000. Yes, $73,000 for a coin most people toss into their pockets without a second thought. So listen carefully and enjoy this fascinating journey into the world of rare coins. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of American currency since 1932, showcasing the profile of George Washington on the obverse. By 1995, these quarters were produced in massive numbers across multiple mints, including Philadelphia and Denver. Although most of these coins entered circulation and faded into everyday use, a small number were struck with minting errors that have made them incredibly sought after by collectors. What makes the 1995 Washington quarter stand out? It's all about the unique and rare minting mistakes that occurred during production. Errors that transform a common coin into a collector's dream point. One of the most famous and valuable errors you might find on a 1995 quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once in slightly different positions, causing the letters or numbers to appear doubled. For the 1995 Washington quarter, look closely at the date, 1995, and the word Liberty. If you notice any doubling, you could be holding a double die coin, and these are incredibly rare and highly prized. The doubling effect can vary from subtle to very pronounced, but either way, it increases the coin's value significantly. Another fascinating error to look out for is the off-center strike. This happens when the blank coin isn't perfectly aligned during the stamping process, resulting in part of the design being cut off and an uneven border around the coin. Off-center strikes create coins that look almost like a printing mishap and are extremely desirable because each one is unique. A 1995 Washington quarter with an off-center strike is definitely something to treasure. Die cracks are another captivating feature that collectors seek. These are tiny fractures in the minting die that cause raised lines or cracks to appear on the coin's surface. On a 1995 quarter, these cracks can run through the date, lettering, or even Washington's profile, giving the coin an individual character. Each die crack error is one of a kind, adding to the coin's appeal and value. The condition of your coin is equally important. While many 1995 quarters have been well used and show signs of wear, coins that remain in uncirculated or mint condition are far more valuable. An uncirculated coin retains its original shine, detail, and sharpness, making it much more attractive to collectors. Combining a rare minting error with pristine condition is what makes some 1995 Washington quarters truly valuable. These coins have been known to sell for extraordinary amounts because they're scarce, eye-catching, and perfectly preserved. So, what could this mean for your coin? Certain 1995 Washington quarters with rare minting errors and in flawless condition have sold for as much as $73,000. That's right, $73,000 for a single quarter. It's incredible to think that such a small coin could hold so much value. If you want to see if you might own one of these valuable coins, examine any 1995 Washington quarters you have very closely. Look for signs of doubling on the letters or numbers, off-center designs, or raised lines from die cracks. Even minor irregularities can be a sign of a valuable error coin. Remember to handle your coins carefully. Hold them by the edges to avoid damaging the surfaces with fingerprints or oils, and store valuable coins in protective holders to keep them in the best possible condition. In conclusion, the 1995 Washington quarter is not just another coin. It's a potential treasure trove hidden in plain sight. Whether you're an experienced collector or just beginning your journey, this coin deserves a second look. Top 5. We're about to uncover the hidden story behind a coin you might never have given a second thought. The 1998 Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like your typical quarter, but hidden beneath its familiar surface lies a world of rarity and potential fortune. If you happen to own one in pristine condition, with some very special characteristics, you could be holding a coin worth an astonishing $70,000. Yes, $70,000. So listen closely and enjoy this exciting journey into the fascinating world of coin collecting. The Washington quarter, featuring the iconic profile of George Washington, has been a beloved part of American currency since 1932. By 1998, millions of these quarters were produced and entered circulation, passing through countless hands every day. For many, they're just pocket change, but within that vast number, a small group of quarters stands out due to unusual minting errors and exceptional rarity, making them highly valuable to collectors. What makes the 1998 Washington quarter so special? It all comes down to rare minting mistakes and unique varieties that transformed some of these coins from everyday currency into prized collectibles. One of the most sought-after and visually striking errors is the double die error. This occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once with slight misalignment, causing the letters or numbers to appear doubled. On the 1998 Washington quarter, collectors often look for doubling on the date, 1998, the word liberty, or the phrase, "In God we trust." The doubled images can be subtle or very pronounced, and because such errors are the result of a minting anomaly, each double die coin is unique and highly desirable. Another fascinating type of error is the off-center strike. During the minting process, if the blank planchet is misaligned, the coin design is struck off-center, leaving part of the image missing and creating an uneven border. Off-center quarters from 1998 are rare and intriguing, capturing the attention of collectors who appreciate these accidental imperfections. Die cracks also play a big role in the rarity and value of this coin. Tiny fractures in the die create raised lines or cracks on the coin's surface, which can run through Washington's profile, the date, or the lettering. Each die crack is one of a kind, giving every affected coin a distinctive appearance. Collectors love these imperfections because they add character and rarity. The condition of your coin is just as important as the error itself. Most quarters from 1998 have circulated heavily, losing their original shine and detail. However, uncirculated coins, those that have never been used and still retain their mint luster, are much more valuable. When combined with one of the rare errors mentioned, an uncirculated 1998 Washington quarter becomes a true collector's gem. Sharp details, crisp edges, and a lustrous surface all contribute to the high value of an uncirculated coin. Such coins are extremely scarce because most quarters get handled, scratched, or worn down over time. If you find a 1998 Washington quarter that looks brand new, it's definitely worth a closer look. So, how much could one of these rare coins be worth? Here's the exciting part. Certain 1998 Washington quarters with rare errors and in mint condition have been known to sell for up to $70,000. That's $70,000 for a single quarter that many people overlook in their change jars. If you're curious whether you might have one of these valuable coins, take a careful look at any 1998 Washington quarters you own. Use a magnifying glass or loupe to check for doubling on the date or lettering. Look for off-center designs and inspect the surface for raised lines indicating die cracks. Even the smallest irregularity could signal that you've found something extraordinary. Handling and storing your coins properly is crucial. Always hold them by the edges to avoid fingerprints and oils that can damage the surface, and keep valuable coins in protective cases to preserve their condition and maximize their value. To sum it up, the 1998 Washington quarter is much more than just pocket change. It's a coin that tells a story of American history, minting quirks, and hidden treasures that can be worth a fortune. Whether you're an experienced collector or just beginning your journey, this quarter deserves your attention. Thank you for joining me on this fascinating coin adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to keep up with more amazing coin stories and discoveries. Remember, sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. Happy collecting, and keep your eyes open. You never know when your next big find might be hiding in your pocket.